Hello, welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. And I know wait, can I not go back in? I can't go back in.
Certainly.
The floods have receded, the pass through Stormwall Gorge is open. Finally, even the villagers are better than this. Villages. Crucible Knights have been warning everyone to stay out of the catacombs. They're not safe anymore. If you're a scholar, you'll want to visit the Hall of Revered Mysteries. I don't think we can go in there anymore. I'm going to confirm this in a little bit. Now, last time we left, the game pulled a "you're doomed no matter which choice you take." As you cross the bridge, a loft draws up beside you. The fires of Defiance Bay cast a shivering, flickering light across one half of his face. The other is in darkness.
Please stop. I need to tell you something.
Go ahead.
I have not been entirely honest about my motives for traveling with you up to this point. When I finished my training in Adir, I was introduced to an organization. All I knew was that they were opposed to the unchecked spread of animancy, and that they could guarantee me postings far away from the Seathwood my father and his earl. At that time, it was enough.
Are you a member of the Letting Key?
In the early years, I thought of them as many things. Hooded men, prudent teachers, the leaden key. Their rules were strict, but their guidance was clear. I sincerely believed they wanted to keep Kith from the folly of their own foolish ambitions. I came to the Deerwood a little over a year ago. My orders were to gather information on animancy in the region. A senior contact met with me every few months to receive my reports and issue new leads. She sent me to Gilded Vale to keep an eye on events surrounding the local lord, but I lost track of her shortly after that. I don't know if she was reassigned, killed, or sacrificed, the way you saw. By the time you met me, I'd been on my own for a couple of months.
What did you want from me?
I needed some kind of direction. And after that scrape with the locals, I was ready to get out of town. But then you mentioned the hooded figures in the machine, and I was sure you were on the trail of the leaden key. And I was correct, in a way. What we found wasn't what I expected. I knew the leaden key was trying to stop animancy, but I didn't realize how far they'd gone. Murder, sabotage, abandoning entire districts to shambling horrors. And now the whole city is up in flames. I'm still not sure about animancy, but I know I've been following the wrong master. Please, accept my apology, and my service. Let me fight with you to stop Theos.
I forgive you, Aloth, but I want you beside me, not behind me. I'm not asking you to trade one master for another.
That would be an honor.
Before we go, I'd like to discuss a few things. Let's see if there's anything new. So now you understand a little more about Izilmir. No thanks to that Animancer, my spleen, black bile, come on. Pelisage's methods were flawed, but you still learned something, didn't you? Only because you and I have a lick of good sense between us, but the average person, show them a shiny gadget in the hands of an expert and they'll believe anything. Perhaps. Animancy has its uses, but it's hard to say whether those outweigh the dangers. It's too decentralized. There's no one to keep the practice in check, no uniform principles or guidelines. Yes, you do need someone in charge to regulate the practice. I should have mentioned that in the hearings, probably. Tend to be a believer in regulation. I tend to believe it's easier, cheaper, and less intrusive to regulate organizations and practices as a whole than individuals. Anyway, yes, you need someone in charge to regulate. Quite so. Practitioners won't do it on their own. Yeah. I'm going to have some people get after me for getting a little bit political on my stuff, but eh. How exactly did you come to join the Letting Key? As it often is with such follies, I was young and directionless. The leaden key promised some of the structure I was lacking, and they offered me a future far removed from service to my father's earl. Animancy is possibly even more controversial in Ada than it is here. The practice has been outlawed for 600 years, but prohibition has a way of breeding curiosity. The success and relative acceptance that animancy has found here and in the Valian Republic spurred and renewed interest in Adir. The leaden key began recruiting more aggressively, and I was in the final period of my training when one of my instructors reached out to me. As I said, it was a welcome departure from my father's plans, and after seeing a few of my colleagues abandon their studies in magic to pursue animancy in the republics, I was convinced that something needed to be done to stop the spread. About your parents. Yes? Why was your mother gone so often? She was invited to join a hymneg with a landed Thane when I was very young. His estate was a 5-day ride from our home in Sifwood, so that was part of it. The real issue, however, was my father. He gives you the smallest of frowns. Despite his initial agreement with the arrangement, father was never happy with it. He would hound and harangue mother when she was home. He wanted to know whether she was intimate with the Thane, no matter how many times she swore she wasn't. It was never enough. As you can imagine, that led to her coming home much less often, even though she still supported us financially. Hmm. I'm sure she was trying to take care of you in her own way. I believe so. She had an important role in managing the Lord Thane's lands and administrative duties, and even though she was away, she provided well for us. What's a hangnaig? Ceremonial marriage between folk and elf. Because the Aedir mainland has historically been split between the two races, we have many institutions that are designed to normalize relations. Our monarchy is headed by folk, but an elven consort rules alongside the reigning Fairkyung or Mequin. This is the most prominent example of hymneg. In many cases, a hymneg allows two households to pool resources. Among the aristocracy, hymnegs consolidate power. Sometimes, as in my mother's case, a hymneg is a means for a noble to add another administrator to his or her household. Consorts are received with almost the same level of respect as their noble counterparts, which can be extremely useful. Of course, hymnegs are sometimes used to sanitize an extramarital affair, he shrugs. I don't know that it's really any better, but it seems to satisfy common notions of decency. And elf and folk unions are sterile, which no doubt eases some concern. Oh, there goes the reason why there's no half-elves. Sounds like your father had a problem with his temper. He had a problem with my mother's hymneg. Even though they agreed upon it long ago, the financial benefits would be considerable. That it was little different from his role as the Earl's steward. It ate at him. And so he drank and raged, and when she was home he raged at her, and when she wasn't he raged at me. More than anything, he wanted me to become an arcane knight in the service of his earl. I think he felt that this would validate his chosen career and master. He was a firm man, as you saw in the end. I became a successful wizard, due in no small part to his strictness. You accomplished that on nonsense. You accomplished that on your own. You would have been fine without him pushing you. Are you so certain? I didn't know what I wanted for my life then. I sure they wouldn't have been so focused without a little direction. That's all they really wanted to know. Very well. That's all. Okay. Okay, I'm betting when we get to the world map, it will have all the areas in the city grayed out. Yep! I can't go to any of them, which means I can't do the quest I had. But they're not failed. So that's a thing, at least. Now, I do have something over here in Twin Elms. A bounty, I believe. And what is this? Area map. There's Raedric's Hold. There's Cade Noir. We are going to go to Cade Noir. We are going to explore the endless paths a little. Where are you? There's still that task that I failed. That I don't know where it is. But we are going to go... Because it said, you have failed this task, and I had no idea what it was. Oh, we're also going to try we are going to try the Battle of Yenwood again. That's what I'm going to do this session. I have gained a couple levels. I have a couple things. I'm going to be going in with Kana, who has the capability to summon stuff. I'm going to be using some of my own summons a little bit more often. I don't know if I'll be able to eat any food, because you can't eat food once battle is started. I don't know if eating food before going out in the battle will add to my stats or not. I also have a new strategy in mind. Oh, resolve affects concentration in the will and deflection defenses. It may also be used in conversations and scripted interactions when raw willpower, intensity, or charisma are involved. Thinking about it, I might actually take a dip over to Deerford Village and see about spending the night at the Dragon Inn, which means I'm going to go back into the world map immediately after this loads. Um, but I do have a new strategy in mind. Nord finishes
Last
extorting
thing the
something.
Deerwood needs
Return
is
to
another foreign colony.
Yeah. Okay, so cool. We are, I think, going to go. Just a second.
Safe travels.
Get this in the right order.
You can trust me. Following your lead.
Do I want Sagani? I want a
I
loft.
shall.
Your will, Watcher.
Oh, that's the way it works,
Safe
huh?
travels.
Okay.
I shall.
Your will, Watcher.
You can trust me.
Why? What the? Oh. Okay. I am going to go to the Deerford Village. I am going to go to the inn there. I'm going to sell some stuff. I am going to try to eat things before cook and eat things before. Let's see if what I can get to eat here. I'm going to try to eat things before starting the dialogue with the marshal. We'll see if that clears up. If it doesn't, I've lost some food. Oh well. And I'm going to remind you again, I can't get the perfect ending. Security reports the Drakes will attack the stronghold.
Come now,
Five
it'll be
Drakes.
fun.
No.
Even just a single.
I'm not calling Isilmir out just so you can learn he'll speak. I'll write down a few words.
That's... Kana is amazing. I wonder why I ever removed him from my party. He's a little bit lower level than us now, because we're mostly 9 and he's 8.
Greetings.
What levels can we hire here? Up to level 8. I cannot afford that right now. Rooms. Store. You have a dragon egg dish. It is expensive. Dragon meat dish. Also expensive. Okay, let's look at rooms. Gonna go with... Oh, it only lasts for one rest. I need to be aware of that. I did not realize these things lasted for differing amounts of rests. I need to pay attention to that. So, I've got a really heavy buff right now for one rest. It's a good thing since I'm going to the Battle of Yenwood. I don't want to... Oh, Eater wants to talk. Eater.
Say what you want about Dear Woodens, but they haven't met the problem yet they couldn't solve by killing some scapegoats.
He flashes a hollow smile. You fight for people because you see something there that deserves defending, even more so because someone you trust sees it too. Then you turn around and they do something like this, and the person who made you want to help them is gone. They're doing what they think the gods want of them. People never fail to disappoint without guidance. You weren't really fighting for all of them, though. Just the ones I liked then? Maybe, maybe. It'd be nice if you got to choose. Tell the lowlifes that if you die, you wouldn't be for their sorry hides. Never thought I'd find myself missing the hospitality back home. I now have so many Watcher powers that I have. It has a full. I would call it a drop-down menu, but it's not really a drop-down menu. It's a pull-up menu, I guess. So many. I have 3 Watcher powers. Okay, we're going back to Cade Noir. We have an attack coming. I don't want to handle it right now. I'm going to do the Battle of Yenwood. I have 6 minutes left on this video? Really? I suppose I could go past that? We'll see. The dialogue portion will be 96 minutes. But the dialogue portion won't be anything new, I don't think. Again, I am as well prepared. Soulbound items gain additional powers as the wielder meets specific requirements. The item's description always lists the next requirement. And again, I am as well prepared as I can be without also purchasing the expansions, which I don't own.
I must say, I'm impressed.
Thank you, Olaf. You say that quite a bit when we come here. How many days do we have? 3 days and 16 hours recording. I don't want to auto-resolve because that might mean having to buy new hirelings. Pillars of Eternity has been localized in several languages. If you would like to experience the game in a different language, you can do so through the Options menu. I'll have to see if there's a Japanese version, so I can be completely lost. No, I wouldn't be completely lost, but I would be mostly lost. The language in this is very eloquent. And the language level, the English language levels around, I would like to say I'm better English, I'm higher at a higher level than this game. Still, but it is a high level of English capability and intricacy and sophistication in the speech and the writing. I mean, the basic plot is fairly simple and straightforward because it has to be for a game. But otherwise, it's pretty... Are you? Yeah, you're the door. Otherwise, it's pretty straightforward. Otherwise, it's pretty well written. So I imagine the Japanese equivalent is very much the same, if there is one. Okay. I probably won't get to the Battle of Yenwood this time.
Greetings!
I'm writing down my stuff here. We're going to sell this fine pistol. Sell this fine dagger. That. I am going to keep that. Fine leather armor. I'm going to keep that. Why are you still carrying this around? You got resolution. You don't need this. Don't need this really either. Or that. Or that. What is that anyway? It's padded armor. It's just simple padded armor. And you have an arquebus. Nothing special, just a simple arquebus. You have a stiletto For reasons unknown. Let's gain initiate hood, wolf hide, other armor. We'll keep your staff. Let's look at them. Okay, all sold, all sold, all sold. Oh, ingredients. And we'll trade. What are your ingredients that you have? You have some drugs. Hmm. Don't suppose you have a ruby. You have garnets. You don't have rubies. Okay, let's look at the treasury. There's a lot of stuff here. Okay.
Yes.
What do you... Okay, you ate... What does this give you? Wood skin. I'll have to remember that. Is that 2 per rest, or... It grants wood skin when 2 per encounter. Okay. Okay. Pretty well equipped. So well equipped. Not well equipped. Decently equipped. So. Okay. Give you the savory pie. And I think that's really all we got. Okay.
Certainly.
I'm going to go ahead and cancel the timer here. I'm going to go through the dialogue portion, and when we get through the dialogue portion, I'm going to do a new video. So I'll probably get to 30 minutes or above. Okay, good. We are going to eat.
Hey,
Following your lead.
You've got a lot of stuff here. Which one? Oh, they both. Okay.
yes?
Do you have anything? You do not?
Hmm?
Come on. Eat the casserole. Okay.
Hmm?
It's okay. Talk about my army. Okay. Seems to be the same. As good as can be. And the dozens. For some reason, I still have the dozens. It's time. Yes, I'm sure. Give the order. Probably should have done a quick save. As you command, I'll march the army to Yenwood Field. Will you be accompanying us? I imagine there's an autosave anyway. If not, I haven't done much. Help Marshal Forward raise an army at Cadenois. Meet your army at Yenwood Field to do battle with Lord Gathben. Stealth skills used to avoid detection while in scouting mode. Classes like rogues and rangers start with a bonus to stealth. You know what? I'm actually going to do the full thing in another video. See you in a little bit.